Wait.
Hello and welcome to the New Worker TV, where today we will be discussing the future of work or the future of no work. But we'll get back to that later on in our question. But first, what we started, one of the big numbers, and we're not making this up ourselves. These are numbers which we found in our research. There's 621 million young people who are not in education, not in training, and not in employment. And at the same time, that number, in my understanding, is that is growing quite rapidly, because on a yearly basis, there's something like 121 million young people entering the workforce. So these are young folks from all over the world who finish their education and want to join the workforce. So this number is really huge, and that is, I think, as a society, totally unacceptable.
Absolutely.
So if people are talking about the future of work or the future of work in the perspective of, number one, getting a lot of new people entering the workforce, already a lot of people unemployed, and at the same time we have all of this automation, robotization, and everything moving and going on. What is your perspective, Rotana, on what does it mean? Will there be work for everyone, or will there be no work, or how do you see that?
Well, I ponder on that, but I will say no, for many reasons. First one is that we have different type of work. I would say now it's not just about getting paid and being an employee. You can be also a freelancer or micro entrepreneur, but you can also do work in a with volunteering, in an NGO or even in your local community or association. That's also work, right? Or it could be just also be part of this training or any learning hub that you can have online or even on the ground, where you are doing work too, because most of the time people ask you to do a project together or just even on your own. That's also work, right? Because you are meeting people, real people, you are having also results or sometimes evaluation. So in that way, you if we think about the traditional way of work, it's not just about providing this paid work. It's about also unpaid work, where you can grow yourself and have other skills. That's what I mean. And the other thing is that there is a lot of discussion around the universal basic income in different countries or even governments, and people think that it will be also a solution to help people to get trainings or to do what they want to do, if it's like a entrepreneurship project or other things, So in that way we can solve also the problem of use for work.
Yeah, thank you. You covered a lot already in your answer.
What about you? What do you think?
I definitely think that indeed we need to, what you said actually, and I'm not going to repeat that, but what you said is that we need to redefine work. What is work? Is work only? Is it also volunteering work? Is it also studying? Is it? Yeah, so I think we should redefine that. At the same time, yeah, like you said, in the society, we need to redefine how people are getting paid, or at least getting the money to survive, to cover your basic levels, like in the Maslow pyramid.
Yeah.
As it relates to paid work, I think definitely there will not be enough work for all the new entrants into the workforce, all these hundreds of millions of young people. Even though there are a lot of baby boomers retiring, I think there will not be enough work, because previously the main employers were in the manufacturing. Yeah, that's where all the main jobs were. People, yeah, in Detroit, they worked in the car manufacturing. That is what happened. Yeah. If I think about the Netherlands, yeah, Philips started in Eindhoven, and most of the people in Eindhoven worked in Philips, in the electronics company, yeah, in light and creating light bulbs and that manufacturing. But number one, that is being outsourced to Asia and other countries. But even that outsourcing, you might say, that create jobs in other part of the world, but that's diminishing because everything's being robotized.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think manufacturing is losing its appeal as a main provider of jobs. But now I think the number one provider of jobs is the retail industry. That's where you see the most jobs. But also there you see that people are pushing very hard to get robots. Yeah, there are already McDonald's restaurants where there are only robots. There are robots in Japanese restaurants taking your orders. There are already restaurants without any people involvement. So I think so the retail industry, people are moving very fast in replacing people with robots. And you can agree with it or not, but I don't think it will create new work opportunities. So I definitely think that as a society we need to rethink, reinvent work, study, volunteering, and how to get paid, and how to live together still in a friendly way, because of course there will still be this 1% of the society who have all the wealth and money, but that is not a sustainable model in today's environment, especially not with all these young people who don't see much of a future. So I would really encourage people to have a broad dialogue around this, and really seriously address this, and not think it's something like in the next 5, 10, 15 years. No, this is a problem which needs to be addressed now.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is left to humans in this age of robotization is, taking care of your work and learning and life, simple as that. And for that is, of course, the personal growth. And that's something that maybe robots will provide you, but at least that's something that you can work on. Because in the end, I think there will be much more selection too, even from employers or even contractors, when you have to do projects, right? Because in the end, they ask for a skill set or some traits for being involved in those projects, and nobody has everything, already. So how you work on that is through taking initiative in different projects, but also what we call upskilling yourself, meaning that you have to develop those skills in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. But
so for the future of no work, go beyond that with developing your own skill set and different mindset and approaches, I would say.
Yeah, well, what we say is continue learning. So it's that is something which makes your life in any way really much more fun and much more interesting, and at the same time gives you an edge on the in the workforce. So that was it. I think for today's topic, a very heavy topic for the weekend, but I think it's really worthwhile your time to think about these things, think about these numbers, think about what does it mean to you, to your children, to your grandchildren, to your colleagues, because you need to take responsibility. It's not the government don't have a recipe for this, so you really have to think like, what is your own approach towards this?
So stay tuned for a new episode of the New Worker TV. Well, at least in 2 or 3 days on Monday, I will say. And that's it.
Okay. Very good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.